in there, and he would always steal the show. Bobby Heenan was always and will always be a hero to me.
Yeah, everybody loves him. It was so great, like fun to hate in the '80s, but when you're old enough to appreciate what he did for the business, you cannot have anything but respect for Bobby Heenan.
Amen. So true, so true, so true. The Weasel.
The Weasel, yeah. You and I met. I'm not really sure what convention it was. It was either the big event or Legends of the Ring. You were tabled next to Jeff Jarrett, and
that wasn't too long ago.
I went to go take a picture of your jacket, and you were like, "You want me to get in it?" And I was like, "No, just taking a picture of your jacket." And you got a little annoyed with me.
I didn't get annoyed with you. No way. I never get annoyed at anybody.
It's like, I kind of felt bad. I was like, damn it, I just insulted him.
Oh man, if you ever see me again, that's the first time anybody's ever told me that. You see, what happens is good news travels slow and dies. The bad news lives on forever. So if you tell everybody that I'm a heel, which I'm not, I'm really a good guy, and that's why I was never a heel in the business, even when I was in Japan for 2.5 years of my life. After a while of being a heel, they just turned me babyface, which was much easier because I got to work with the guy gene with the American wrestlers all the time, and you could call a high spot or you could do whatever you wanted to do, and it felt great. You could talk hard. It was awesome anyway.
It's funny you mentioned about not being a heel. Now, when you guys were the Killer Bees, you guys used to throw on the mask and pull little switcheroos in the ring, and some people would consider that like cheating and very heelish.
Yeah, but we never did that unless it was tit for tat. Like the Hart Foundation, they had a lot of shortcuts and did a lot of stuff behind the referee's back, and the Demolition, who will get the first tag team honoree at this year's Cauliflower Alley Club convention. They always had to heal on us before we healed on them. And, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, fight fire with fire.
Okay. So, I agree. Nick, you got a question?
Yeah. Who's your favorite person to work with in the ring?
I'm sorry, one more time? Who was easiest to work with?
Yeah, who was your favorite person to work with in the ring? Who did you have most chemistry with?
Oh, without a doubt, Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff?
In single matches, Paul Orndorff and I tore down the house wherever we were. I don't care where we were. We had the people in Worcester, Massachusetts, stand up for 15 minutes, and that's a fact. That's an absolute fact. They didn't, can't ask you. And Strongbow, because he's dead, God bless him. He came back afterwards. He said, "That's the greatest match I've ever seen. I've never seen a match like that. I was just tears on it. I can't say it on the radio. I mean, he just he was off the chart. And Blackjack Honza and all the guys. I mean, you can ask Blackjack. Just everywhere, I had such chemistry with him in single matches. As far as tag team matches with Jumpin' Jim, the best chemistry that we had was with the Hart Foundation. And like Brett says in his book, the best tag team match he ever had was with the Killer Bees.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So I just really respect all the people that I've wrestled with. I respect the fans so much. I mean, without the fans, everybody knows we would be nothing. And, I've been preaching that for a long time, and I learned it. It wasn't like something that I had to learn, but I saw how Terry Funk, who will also be at the Cauliflower Alley Club with J.J. Dillon in April from the 13th, 14th, 15th in Las Vegas. Terry Funk was the funk master with the people. He would sit for hours and hours and sign everybody's autograph and thank them. And I don't know if you guys have ever been around Terry that much, but he is so thankful for all the people that bought a ticket to see him. That same thing from Terry Funk just rubbed on me, even though I was always I've always felt like I was a good guy with a good heart, and try to help people that are down on their luck, and always do all the good things that I could. I could never be a Terry Funk. He's the best of the best when it comes to,
we had the pleasure of doing a sit down interview with Terry Funk, and he's definitely one of the nicer guys in the business. JT has a question for you.
I do have a question for you. When you hear guys talk and say, like one of the best tag team matches they ever had was against the Killer Bees, how does it make you feel that the Killer Bees never became the WWE or former WWF tag team champions?
Well, sometimes it's a little depressing because they promised the belts to us 3 different times. Vince, right to our face, promised for the first time, then George Scott 2 times. And that's actually why I left, JT.
Really?
Right at 90, I was at WrestleMania 5, and I just didn't want to work, had no gumption, and I just talked to Vince and said, Vince, Vinny Jr., who I have a deep amount of respect for. You hear a lot of bad things about Vince Jr., but he's just a great businessman, and he's doing what he needs to do. There's a lot of things that all of us could improve on. Nobody's got all the answers or has the best, and you'll never please everybody and all that stuff. But Vince has just got a demeanor for business and not for wrestling business like nobody ever has. It was then that I found out I knew I had a contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, and then I wanted to start a gym, so I started Gold's Gym, which built into 4 Gold's Gyms. We had over 10,000 members in our 4 Gold's Gyms, and sold those when they went for sale, which is a blessing, and went on to become the county commissioner, and now I'm the, as you know, the president and the CEO of the Cauliflower Alley Club, which is also, it's a non-paying job. It takes a lot of hours, but it's something that the fans enjoy because you get to come and see all the people that you grew up with. I've been going there for the last dozen years, and there's nothing like the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. Seeing guys, just this year you'll see, Larry the Axe Henning get the Lou Thez Award. It was awesome. I got to have a good time with Lou Thez. I'm actually being inducted into the Hall of Fame in Iowa, and Gable Hall of Fame in Iowa this July.
Congratulations.
For me, thank you very much. And Jerry Briscoe's an award winner, DP's the first 2-time award winner, Dusty Rhodes will be there, Jake Roberts, all kinds of people. But anyway, as far as being promised the belts, it would be nice to have had them. We had the World Championship belts with UWF, Herb Abrams, the Funk company. But I've had more titles than I've had at least 15 titles. Our greatest title that I had was the Florida heavyweight title when we were selling out every building, without cable TV. Where my best friend, Jack Briscoe, mentored me along with Hiro Matsuda and Eddie Graham and many others, or the Southern heavyweight title. I've been Central States tag team titles. I've been just all kinds of titles. But everybody knows now in this day that it's not really earning the belt, and there's always more money. This is one thing Vince Jr. always told me. The money is in the hunt. When the bad guys have the belt and you're chasing them, and you beat them in a non-title match, the money's in the hunt. So he would keep that bait out there constantly. And at the time, that meant a lot. Yes, we did want to win. We thought for sure we were winning the belts. It was all set up at, when we were in the first Royal Rumble. When we won the Royal Rumble with the Young Stallion. It was time to turn heel, right, or do whatever we needed to do to get the belts, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is.
Right.
I just I was there is what I can say. You know, I was there. I've been a main event. I've been a semi-main event. I got Paul Orndorff so hot. Tito Santana and I worked with Paul Orndorff everywhere, all around for over a year, and we got him ready for Mr. Wonderful, ready for Orndorff, and that was some of the biggest paychecks that I've ever made in my life. You know, I mean, I've made $35,000 in 1 week, and you know that's pretty hard to do, and it's pretty much you know, I'm not bragging at all. I'm just saying, hey, you know, you can keep the belt, just pay me. Pay me for what I'm going to. So.
I also had one more question for you, Brian. I just wanted to know if you could tell me what it was like, maybe the difference between your experience with New Japan Wrestling and the WWE. What you gathered from each of it, what you took from each company.
Respect. In the United States, you know, the promoters, they really don't give you near as much respect. And I say that about the promoters, whereas the fans are very similar, except you don't get quite the crowd reaction in Japan, but you could tell they appreciate you because they'll flock to you afterwards. They're very respectful. I've been in a few matches in Japan where we've had actual riots, real hardcore riots. We were in Hiroshima with Big John Studd, Paul Orndorff, and myself against Tito and Fujinami and the boss, Inoki. And I had Tito in the corner, and that's why I have my fingers, two fingers sewn to one finger. And they all three, you know, moved unitedly. That happened that night, and people just poured in the ring trying to beat us up, and everybody fighting for their life.
I've heard similar stories about American wrestlers beating up the Japanese guys and then having to run for their lives.
That happened in Malaysia with Frenchie Martin. I'll never forget Frenchie Martin pulled me on top of him. It happened in Malaysia. Then it happened again in New Orleans. In let's see, gosh darn, flipping here. Not the Saints play, but somewhere. Anyway, in New Orleans we had a riot. We had riots all over the place by good selling. When you sell good and you have a good finish and you got a heel that can really tee the people off, back before, you know, the business was kind of exposed and everything. In Florida, it was all kayfabe, hush hush. I mean, and people would get really crazy. Lots of riots here. You don't see that now because people realize, even though they get into it, it's just like a movie. Well, you can't be like Batman and Robin on TV and have the luxury of 4 camera shots. You know, right. you gotta touch somebody. You know, if you see somebody miss, you'll hear, you missed them. You know, the old ECW chant, or you know, something like that. So you gotta, you know, you're still laying them in, and you're still taking one for the team. It's a tough business, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I understand.
Ain't that the truth?
Brian, we gotta cut you loose. We're about a minute left in the program. We all really appreciate you coming on. We definitely want to get you on at a later date so we can have a full show interview with you. And we definitely look forward to seeing you at some conventions around town.
Great. Could you plug the CACClub.org, our website, for me? I really appreciate that, and I thank you guys. JT, Kev, I thank you very, very much. Nick, thank you. All the fans, I thank you. God bless you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Anytime you want me on, just call.
All right, take care. Thanks, Brian.
Take care, man.
Bye, my brothers.
That was former WWE superstar B. Brian Blair. ladies and gentlemen, at this time I ask that you please help the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. Tune in